National champions from 29 different countries have gathered to battle it out for the 2022 World Singles Champion of Champions title. This year the event has been held here at the Nainai Bowling Club in Wellington, New Zealand. Nainai boasts 3 beautiful Maniatoto greens and 1 covered artificial, which means that play can happen here in rain, hail or shine. Nainai also plays host to world-class hospitality facilities, and this ensures that not only do players enjoy their bowling here, but are also well fed and watered whilst doing so. Hi, I'm Alex Reid, and here we are undercover at the Nainai Bowling Club, the hosts for the 2022 World Champion of Champions Singles. This week we've got 46 different athletes competing, and each of them is a national singles champion. For some of them, like the Kiwis, Taylor Bruce and Kelvin Scott, that means they've won an open singles championship, whereas others have had to win their club, regional and then progress to the national event to be here today. As I said before, the event goes for the week. The first 5 days are section play and then 2 days of post-section, and every game takes place over 2 sets of 9 ends with a 3-in tie break if required. We have an incredible 29 countries from all over the globe, with athletes playing their bowls everywhere from Botswana to Norfolk Island. The men will be playing in 2 sections, Section A and Section B, whereas the women participate in 1 section. What?
Yes.
Oh, here we are. Right, day 6, and we got started. That's fine. I thought before I'll introduce you to start off with, John. So I've got John Macbeth, who some may know. I think quite a few may know you.
Well, and it's nice to be here. I've been really interested in the fact that we've got the 2 sections of men's, and we're getting into the situation where we're going to determine who the winner is tomorrow. But looking at those results there, you see that Tolchard and Scott are identical results, 9 wins, 1 loss. And then the next 3 down from them, going from 3rd through to 5th, 7 wins and 3 losses. So that net number of shots is coming so important, isn't it?
I think unlucky, the Norfolk Islander and Samoan, 7 wins, but didn't quite make the cut. So we'll move now to men's section B and see who else made it through.
I think here we'll see that in the next section that the only player who went through unbeaten in section B for the men was Lee Schreiner, who's the defending title holder. 10 wins, no losses.
Look at his net total of shots there, John. 3 figures.
Quite extraordinary, eh? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So when we get into this competition today, there's going to be some stunning matches, without doubt.
For sure, and with Lee qualifying top, it means he goes straight through to a semi-final, whereas the Welsh and the Malaysian are going to play off a little bit earlier. And again, I think we see the Jersey and the Cook Islander can probably feel a little bit unlucky having not made it through, but that's sport, isn't it?
That's right, and he has no net number of shots. So the best players get through, no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. And we see here, this is the post-section bracket for the men. So we see Kevin James and Gary McCloy playing off a 1 quarter-final, and then we have...
Is that Zulkifli of Malaysia against Kelvin Scott, the New Zealand champion. And the winners of those, of course, go through to those top 2 qualifiers, Sam Tolchard and Lee Schreiner. So that's the competition today. We'll be looking at the Kevin James-Gary McCloy match, which starts in about an hour.
Absolutely. As we move on now to see who got through in the women's section. We see their top 6 because there were slightly fewer participants, John, so it was just 1 section for the women's competition.
But again, if you look through, played 10, won 8. All of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lost 2, same points, of course. So you had all those players with identical match points. But again, it comes down to the net number of shots, and Australia, USA, New Zealand, they're the 3 top players, along with Tamizi of Malaysia and Thomas, and Madutwa of Botswana, who we'll be seeing in just a moment in our first televised game.
And here it is, the post-section bracket for the women. We see there like Carla Krasanik and Anne Nunez, who for me has been a sensation in this event.
From the USA, yeah, that's outstanding. So Aine Tamisi and Mel Thomas will be playing, and Taylor Bruce against Maria Madutwa of Botswana. That's the match which has just started, so we'll be having a look at that live in just a tick. I love seeing the flags. So the flags, as you can see to the left of your picture there, just adorning the Nine Bowling Club, which, as Alex has already mentioned, is a fantastic facility there. A few of the spectators down the far end, along the sides as well, and out the back. And our marker today is Kath Thompson of Plympton there with the umpire's shirt on. And she'll be keeping us absolutely up to date with what's going on, using the lollipops to indicate to the audience and to you watching who's holding shot. And for an identification viewpoint, Taylor Bruce, who's just delivered her fourth bowl, she's using the darker coloured bowls, and Madutwa, the what are they, greeny, bluey sort of things?
I'd call them green
Teal.
maybe, but I am colourblind.
Oh,
so
that's right, of course, yeah. So they're black as well.
who knows?
So Taylor Bruce to the right, New Zealand champion, Commonwealth Games representative, the supreme winner of the Bowler of the Year at the awards earlier this year, standing with her back to us now, holding 3 shots by the, as we see it, and Madutwa marches back, having just confirmed what she suspected from down the far end. We'll play her last shot.
Yes, and we joined this game on the third end, and it looks like Taylor started off with a couple of threes, John. So a good start for Taylor on what is a 9-end set.
Very easy for the games to get away from the player who's not going so well.
Certainly, although I suppose conversely, the good thing about the 9-end sets is that if you have a poor first set, and we've seen it a number of times this week, you can come back and win your second set and force a tiebreak. Close here.
Might have cut out a couple of shots there, or it's continuing to run on. May still be 2, but we'll just get that confirmation as Maria Madutwa. Very interesting character, and we'll talk about her as the game progresses. But I think, Alex, what we've seen here, the nations who are represented here, quite extraordinary, and don't even consider that some of them would be aware of bowls.
Unbelievable, really, and really positive. For me, that's what's quite special about this tournament. You can see the bunting there as the flags in the background of the nations competing. But it's just been fantastic to have that mixture in that group. You know, there's the man from Israel. They've got 5 clubs in Israel, and he was very enthusiastic and has made a lot of friends, I think, in his trip down to New Zealand.
Funnily enough, the bowls that I use, they were used by one of the Israeli representatives in their pairs combination at one of the World Championships in Christchurch. He didn't want to cart them home with him, so I purchased them.
Deal.
Yeah, they haven't been very successful, but so yes, it's then when you realise that, you know, Israel, Turkey, Hungary, all sorts of places.
Botswana, incredible.
Exactly.
And great to see him. We see Taylor throwing a shortish jack here, John, which I think is probably intentional. I know that the Botswana, they have the slow greens, like most countries here participating will be used to greens that are slower than what we're playing on now. Even this indoor undercover 40 metre by 40 metre thing, which runs at 15 or 16 seconds, might feel fast to some of them.
I'm just confirming the scoreboard there. There was a 2 for Taylor Bruce. Tom Murfitt of the Wellington Centre is the man who's sitting there working the scoreboard. Even though the players had a couple of ends to warm up it, if you're not used to this sort of surface, it can take a bit longer, and each day is different.
Yeah.
You can see out the background there behind that window. The reason we're indoors today is because the wind would just make it unenjoyable, and also it just adds that extra dimension to a match, isn't it? Where you see there's a bit of luck involved when the wind is as strong as what is today.
When it gets ridiculous, it was a decision made by the tournament directors right at the beginning of the day, and made it clear to all the players. I think one of them had to travel from Carterton over a hill to Wellington. And he said, "Well, my car nearly became an aeroplane trying to get over the hill."
I think too, with the weather the way it is becoming, Alex, a lot of centres will be aware of this, and particularly, you know, I know in the Kapiti region where today the weekly gala was cancelled because of the rain that was predicted. a lot of bowls is being lost because of rain, and covered areas are just going to become, they're vital now.
Certainly.
I think, in areas, aren't they?
Yep, and more regions are being able to invest in and have covered arenas, and that's just great for the sport as far as I'm concerned. As you see Taylor Bruce here under a little bit of pressure, probably for the first time in this set, John. Oh, what a good bowl that is.
So Madutwa of Botswana here. She's 43 years of age, and I was chatted to her beforehand and asked her why she took up bowls, because she'd been to 2 world softball championships, so that was her sport of choice. And she said, "Oh, my body was just suffering a bit. I tried golf, but the same sort of action was required for golf as in batting in softball." And she said, then I thought, I'd seen bowls on TV, so I thought I'll give it a go. So she's been playing 8 years now.
No, certainly, and been to a Commonwealth, 2 Commonwealth games.
2 Commonwealth games, yeah. In fact, she said she knows Taylor because she played against her at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games. They were both members of the fours, and they met in the quarterfinals over there.
That's right. Let's just see Taylor lining up on her forehand. And just quickly, Mike Kernhan on the far left of the screen, head coach for Bowls New Zealand, obviously thought it was worthwhile coming to have a nosy.
Yeah.
Taylor here. She's 8-0 up in this set. She won't do anything rash. She'll just be looking to put another bowl there or thereabouts, I think, John. Which she's nearly done. It'll be interesting to see what Maria opts to play for here. It'll be tempting if you're 8-0 down. She'll be tempted to have a little nibble, I think, John.
I would think so. Yeah, it's not easy for her to get rid of the Bruce bowl without also taking out one of hers, but even so, she could end up with 3.
Certainly a worthwhile equation, particularly at this stage. So I would expect to see perhaps a little bit of aggression.
So she'll continue with that forehand. Taylor Bruce, as usual, just looks away and
very calm.
Yeah.
Here we go. What's the weight like here, John?
No, it doesn't look great, does it? A bit of an in-betweener, I think. She was probably just trying to draw another, but it was certainly, you would have thought, looking at that situation, worth a wee go. Even if the black had gone onto her second shot, she might have stayed for 3.
Yeah, so, yeah. She may have felt like she just wanted to score a guaranteed point and get started. That will be 1 point. And a 1-8 scoreline now after 4 ends, so we're just about at the halfway point, and that's another thing about this event, John. You blink and you miss it. The sets just zip by.